Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army, and if it's your first stop, thanks for dropping in. We've got a couple of great drops coming your way today, and they're all going to center around the 60-ton Mad Dog hero, the Revenant. Now, for those of you not in the know, wondering why there is so much hero content on the channel as of late, well, it's all because of PGI running the 2023 Big Beach Party. And this year it has been a full 2-month-long event. It does end August 22nd, and keep in mind you still have until September 1st to claim all your prizes. That being said, I've been focusing on hero mechs and reviews and giving you as much information as possible on hero mechs, because with this event you get to choose 4 hero mechs, 1 from each weight class, if you complete all the 4 phases. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get into everything Mad Dog Revenant related. And as we have that discussion, our first drop, which is an assault match on Canyon Network, is going to play out in the background. So starting our review where I like to start all the reviews, let's take a look at the stock loadout. What can you expect getting this mech straight from the store, delivered to you fresh from the mech factory? So popping the hood on the Revenant, we can see it comes with 2 LRM-20s, 2 LRM-10s, 4 Clan medium pulse lasers. It has a top speed of 81 kph, giving it an 88 alpha with all of that firepower. But where you have to pay attention is the heat delta is 1.16, so that is on the lower side, and those 4 medium pulse lasers are going to eat into that quite quickly. So be aware that if you're underrun and you switch over to your medium pulses, you are going to generate a lot of heat in a short amount of time with all of that firepower. All in all, I have to say this is a very efficient LRM carrier in the heavyweight class. Probably one of my favorites as far as that goes. So let's continue our deep dive discussion here and visit the quirks that this brings to the battlefield. And of course, it is a hero mech, so you're going to have that plus 30% C-bill bonus for running a hero mech. And hopefully you are using that to farm your C-bills and outfit the rest of your mechs and supplies. Looking into the quirks deeper though, we find a minus 5% energy cooldown quirk, plus 5% energy range, minus 10% missile cooldown, plus 10% missile velocity, so you can kind of see where the firepower quirks are going. On survivability, it has plus 7% to plus 15% to base armor buffed across the mech. Where the bonus surprise kicks in is in mobility. If you look at that, we have plus 15% to the turn rate, plus 10% to acceleration, and plus 10% to deceleration, making this a very, very maneuverable mech. Now, jumping back into the action that's going on in this drop, my team wanted to hold left side Echo 3, Echo 4-ish, and I've tried to stay with them towards the back of the pack, I guess, so to speak, and I'm leveraging my ability to do indirect damage. Now, a better and probably more aggressive stance would have been to find a spot with a ramp or some kind of cover on the high ground, pop out of cover, get my lock, fire my missiles as I drop back into cover. But I'm still getting damage out while mitigating incoming damage, and ideally that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm also trying to pay attention to the targets that I do fire on. If you're running LRMs, watch that center reticle. If it turns red after you fire your missiles, you know you scored a hit. If it doesn't, probably means that something is blocking your missiles or the enemy target is in cover, and you should switch to a different target. Now the enemy Blood Asp has pushed in, and we are able to chalk up the kill on him, and that's when the Warhammer shows up with all these racks. I'm already super hot. I do the tactical shutdown, and he is taking full advantage of my inability to defend myself, and And yeah, he's racking me to death. That darn Torian Kato. What a big jerk that guy is, as he takes me out of the game. No, I deserve that. So that's the disadvantage of not having your override on, is that can happen to you. And Torian was well within his right to take me out of the game. Good news is, hopefully somebody's going to focus him down as well, because I think I did quite a bit of damage to his mech. And now it's up to my team to pull this one to victory. I don't think they're going to do it. Oh no, and Wong Wei was taken out as well. Score is 5-10. I don't see us pulling out the victory on this one. However, I will be happy with the kill of Torian Kato. And there it is, shot through the, I think, center torso there to take him out of the game as well. So it's 6-11. Our Mad Cat is last man standing, and he is going to get focused down from all different angles. And he dies with style. He should get style points for the death pose on this one. Switching over to our end screen on this, we wound up with our single kill of the Blood Asp, 4 assists, 622 damage done. Moving on to our next drop. This one's got us playing Conquest mode on HPG Manifold, and as this one plays out in the background, we're going to continue our discussion of the Mad Dog hero, the Revenant. Now, I do not LRM often, but when I do, it's with the Revenant. No, just kidding. It just... Anyway, we're going to continue our discussion, and the next stop on our tour is looking at loadouts, because obviously I've done some major changes under the hood on my mech, as you can see in the bottom right of your screen. And there is a madness to my method, method to my madness, something like that. Anyway, let's pop the hood and take a look at what's going on with my mech.
New target acquired.
So as you can clearly see, I've done some major changes in the weapons department. So I still have 2 medium pulse lasers, but I've replaced the other 2 with 2 ER smalls. And that step was done to try to cut down on the amount of heat that I was generating. The smalls are a lot cooler, but they have a similar, not the same, but a similar range. So that's why I switched those out. I've also streamlined the LRM systems. Instead of 2 LRM 20s and 2 LRM 10s, we're going straight up 4 LRM 15s. And the reason I'm doing that is not for heat, but for weight savings. And that's going to come back to us in other aspects of the build. So in some of the statistics, it isn't a huge change. We still have our 81 kph speed, which is nice. Our alpha drops slightly from 88 to 84. I'm okay with that. Where we have picked up versus the stock loadout is our heat delta has jumped up to 1.27, which is much cooler and better. The other thing that we have gained by the weight savings is in the stock loadout you had 4 tons of ammo. This build has 6 tons of ammo, and I was able to put in a targeting computer to help with my locks. Now, you don't have to run the targeting computer if you don't want to. You could try to squeeze in another heat sink. You could try to squeeze in some more ammo. Play around with it as you guys see fit, but I'm just telling you what's going on with my mech. So everything I told you about why I switched to 4 LRM 15s, well, that's a lie. Because the real reason I switched to 4 LRM 15s is that when you chain fire them, it gives you a wonderful and glorious sprinkler effect on the enemy. No, it was the weight savings. Anyway, I do want to say, if you're enjoying the content thus far, why not give it a thumbs up, hit that like button, and if you want to join the Sleepless Nights gaming army, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss out on great content like this. Getting back into the action on this drop, there is a lot going on, from friendly spotters and friendly narkers to the enemy pushing through the basement, coming up behind us, and my mech is just getting pummeled at this point, so I've got to lay off the LRMs, get into cover, and rely on my backup weapons, those medium pulses and ER small, not smalls, small, because I've already lost my left arm. I'm in danger of losing my left torso, but that's okay. I've gotten myself into some cover. My teammates are coming to assist, and we're still putting out some damage, and I'm trying to get through the back of that Shadowhawk. Can't quite do it. That's okay. We will keep pushing around. I'll use my missiles where I can, and there's that curve trick. I'm pulling out all the stops on this one, trying to get damage in. That Shadowhawk is really hurting, but then again, so is the Cyclops. We can switch back to our missiles, do some LRM damage on him, and there he goes. He goes down with that center torso punch through. Shadowhawk is really hurting, and that's when I run out of LRM missiles. Okay, we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, and that's why I like having these backup weapons on the mech. Here comes the Shadowhawk. He's trying to challenge me. I've got to watch the left torso. Wouldn't be the end of the world, I guess, if I lose it. And we take out the Shadowhawk. Pushing up and over the hill, I'm going to follow one of my teammates here and push to the center because I want to do as much damage as possible. And we only have the one kill on the Shadowhawk. I don't know, can we pick up some more? Let's see. Here's a Warhammer in the center. He's being focused. Score is 10-3. We're just mopping up the last couple enemy units, and look at this, we get the kill shot on the Warhammer for our second kill on this drop, and now we just have one more last contender, and that's the Urban Mech. I wonder if that's the Urban Mech from the first part of the match. No, this is a different Urban Mech because that first one was a Narker. So we'll just take down this other Urban Mech, and that should bring our drop to a close, and a teammate picks up the kill shot. So switching over to our end screen, we get our 2 kills, 7 assists, 701 damage done.